The moment Dr. Evelyn Monroe stepped into the faculty lounge at Elmwood University, the quiet chatter among professors subtly shifted. Some greeted her with nods of recognition, others pretended to stay immersed in their conversations, but nearly all were aware of her reputation. As chair of the mathematics department, Evelyn carried an aura of prestige and intimidation. At 45, she was a tenured scholar, published in countless journals, and widely respected or feared for her uncompromising standards. That afternoon, she wore her usual uniform, a tailored charcoal blazer, pencil skirt, and glasses perched low on her nose. Her blonde hair was pulled back tightly, her expression unreadable as she poured herself a cup of black coffee from the communal pot. "Have you met the new guy yet?" asked Dr. Harris from the physics department, approaching her cautiously. "No. Should I have?" Evelyn replied, eyes narrowing slightly. "He just joined the history department. Dr. Langston Price. Apparently, he's quite the catch. Former Fulbright scholar, did his postdoc at Oxford." "History?" Evelyn repeated, her tone almost dismissive. "I suppose someone has to teach the dates and dead kings." Dr. Harris chuckled nervously but offered no further defense. Minutes later, as Evelyn settled at a table to skim through a set of poorly graded midterm exams, Langston Price entered. He was tall, well-dressed in a navy blazer over a light turtleneck, his demeanor calm but confident. He nodded politely to the room before walking toward the coffee station. Their eyes met. "Dr. Monroe, I presume," he said warmly. She glanced up from the exams, noting his extended hand. "Yes, I'm Dr. Langston Price, new to the history department." "Welcome," she replied briefly, accepting the handshake but withdrawing her hand quickly. "You'll find things move a bit slower outside the sciences." Langston smiled, unfazed. "Perhaps. Though I believe understanding the past often accelerates our grasp of the present." Evelyn didn't answer. Instead, she returned to her grading. 3 weeks into the semester, Evelyn's calculus class was running as precisely as she expected. Students knew better than to speak out of turn. One misstep at the board could lead to an icy reprimand, and she had no time for excuses. But then came Devin Carter. Devin, a sophomore majoring in economics, had transferred from another university. He was bright, quiet, and black, a combination Evelyn barely noticed until the day she called him to the board. He hesitated, clutching his textbook with both hands. "Now, Mr. Carter," she said, tapping the pointer against her palm. "Let's not waste time." He approached, wrote half of the solution, then paused. "That's incorrect," she said sharply. "Didn't you read the assignment?" "I did. I just—" Without warning, she struck the pointer lightly across his shoulder. "Maybe that'll speed up your reflexes." The class went silent. Devin returned to his seat, visibly shaken. That same afternoon, Langston found Devin standing at the back of his lecture hall, notebook in hand. "You can sit, you know," Langston offered. Devin hesitated. "It's more comfortable standing right now." Langston paused, noticing how Devin shifted weight off his left side. "You're hurt." Devin nodded reluctantly. "It's nothing." Langston approached carefully. "Was it Dr. Monroe?" After a moment, Devin whispered, "She called me up to the board. I messed up. She tapped me. Said I was wasting her time." "That's unacceptable," Langston said. "Please don't report it," Devin said quickly. She's powerful. I need this class to graduate." Langston took a breath. "What if I help you with the calculus?" "You know calculus?" Langston grinned. "Let's just say, before I became a historian, I spent some time with numbers. MIT, class of '06. Devin stared. "You have a math degree?" "Applied mathematics." History came later. The next week, Evelyn crossed paths with Langston in the faculty lounge. "Dr. Price," she said curtly. "Your student, Devin Carter, seems to be missing my class lately." "He's been meeting with me," Langston replied calmly. "We're working on cross-disciplinary research. I doubt he has time for that. He's already struggling with math. Or perhaps he's struggling with your methods." Her eyes flashed. "Excuse me." Langston didn't back down. "Corporal discipline doesn't belong in a classroom, Dr. Monroe." Her voice dropped. "You're stepping out of line. I'm protecting a student." Several faculty members had stopped pretending not to listen. "Mathematics is not about feelings, Dr. Price. It's about facts, equations, logic. Even logic has a context," Langston said. "Who decides what gets taught? And why?" Evelyn scoffed. "This is why the humanities are barely tolerated. All talk, no solutions." "Then let's solve something," Langston replied. "You present a calculus problem. I'll solve it. Publicly." Let the university see if history has any use in your so-called pure field. A silence fell across the lounge. Next Friday, Evelyn said. Main lecture hall. I'll be there, Langston replied. The showdown quickly became campus legend. Students whispered about it. Flyers went up. The math duel, logic versus history. Professors pretended not to care, while adjusting their calendars to attend. Langston prepared in quiet determination, reviewing every method Evelyn might employ. His mathematical instincts were rusty but intact. Devin, too, trained alongside him, his confidence returning with every solved problem. On the day of the challenge, the lecture hall overflowed. Evelyn arrived first, cool and collected. Her problem filled the whiteboard, a multivariable optimization task using Lagrangian multipliers, elegant, layered, and brutal. Langston stepped forward, adjusted his cuff, and studied the board. Ah, he murmured, a variation on the Hampshire-Wilkinson constraint model. Evelyn's composure cracked for a moment. He began solving slowly, carefully. But instead of using her path, he rewrote the problem, invoking a lesser-known transformation discovered by an 18th-century African mathematician, Nasir Diallo. The room watched in awe. Within 30 minutes, Langston circled the solution. Evelyn approached, eyes scanning his work. It's correct, she said, voice subdued. History taught me the path, Langston said softly. Mathematics confirmed the result. From the back, Devin stood. Professor Price, he asked, can you explain that transformation? Langston smiled. In the 1700s, Nasir Diallo derived a method for simplifying complex systems using cultural logic structures, a kind of algebra rooted in patterns, not symbols. He turned to the audience. Mathematics is not owned by any one culture or discipline. It's a universal language shaped by history, sharpened by time. The room erupted in applause. Weeks passed. Evelyn withdrew, then resurfaced, different. She began reading. She assigned biographical studies of underrepresented mathematicians to her students. She welcomed guest lecturers from the humanities. She invited Langston to co-lead a seminar titled Mathematical Ideas Across Civilizations. Students noticed. So did faculty. Devin, now top of his class, applied to dual-degree programs in economics and history. 1 year later, Evelyn stood on stage as Dean of Interdisciplinary Sciences. True innovation, she told the incoming freshmen, happens at the crossroads of perspectives. From the audience, Langston nodded. Beside him, Devin smiled, knowing the truth. Real education isn't about proving who's smarter. It's about expanding who belongs. And on that campus, the line between numbers and narratives would never again be so rigid.